Hello, classmates. Sable O'Hara here in the virtual flesh. Let's get right down to the point of this video and take a look at the graphic novel, Cast No Shadow. The story is by Nick Topolansky and Anissa Espinosa. Tone is by Alex Ekman-Lawn, and lettering is done by Thomas Maurer. It's published by First Second of New York, and it's about 215 comic pages with some added character design sketches at the end of the book as well. This is a genuine graphic novel written for a teenage audience, but fun for the young at heart too.
All right, let's get started. Our pages break down as follows. Pages 1 to 37 open Act 1 and introduce our setting, characters, and the basis of our story. Pages 38 to 86, we approach Act 2 and the conflict is cinched into place and the major antagonist is revealed. Page 135, we hit our climax. Page 169 to 170 ends Act 2 and begins Act 3. Protagonist arc comes to a head and the final battle takes place. Page 207, we have our resolution, and page 208 begins our epilogue and denouement. This is mostly Greg's story, and a little bit Eleanor's story. Greg is our main protagonist, but his present and future are tied to Eleanor's past and current existence. Greg's original goal is to put everything back to the way it was before his mom died. The town, his family, even his friendships changed after she passed. The conflict Greg faces supports that goal completely, and it comes to a head at the climax when, well, I won't give anything away, but Greg's inner demon sorta becomes an outer demon. It wreaks havoc on his behalf. Eleanor is also a big part of things. Her character backstory is almost identical to Greg's, and it is a warning of what's in store for him if he doesn't change. This story's arc has a solid beginning, middle, and end. The tales of Greg and Eleanor are woven together perfectly and reach a touching conclusion together. The resolution was heartbreaking, but satisfactory. It gave my ship just enough wind to keep afloat while still realizing the reality that a mortal and a ghost just can't be together, well, like that. But at least she's not gone forever, and Greg has accepted change and has grown. Greg has a great character arc, if not a predictable one. He's given a solid example of what fate awaits him should he continue in his current path. It's very similar to A Christmas Carol, with Eleanor being Marley and Greg being Scrooge. He has to confront, or at times be confronted by, the changes that are weighing him down, and in the end, he opens his heart and lets go of his anger and pain to embrace his new life ahead. Readers should easily be aware of when and where they are over the course of this novel. The artwork carries us through day and night, using shadow and darkening of the page to signify what time of day we're in, so there's a sense of time passing. We also have some lively narrators to help set up the story and lead us through it. Cast No Shadow employs a lot of moment-to-moment, action-to-action, subject-to-subject, and some aspect-to-aspect transitions, which I think has much to do with the fact that this is intended for a younger audience. The story and ideas flow easily across the pages, gently ushering the reader through each panel. This graphic novel isn't requiring as much effort on the reader's part, so as not to detract from the story and allow the young mind reading it to grasp the morals and life lessons at hand. That's why I think it's a great read even for adults, because we so often overcomplicate things. So to have these ideas laid out simply before us removes some of that deductive responsibility. Looking through this graphic novel, I think the story effectively uses the page as a mini-comic. You could take a page at random and have mini stories with their own conflicts or ideas, and they're still interesting and informative. Then put them all together and they form the big picture story of Cast No Shadow. I'll say that from the lettering tutorial and assignment that the balloons have a bit too much air. But if you didn't know about the lettering, you wouldn't care. It's easy to read, and the writing is concise. Fun fact, the bully kid in this story has Mr. Speedy betting. Speedy remarkably resembles a certain Azure hedgehog who may or may not run extremely fast. Also, the haunted house in this story was built on an Indian land, church cemetery, and Civil War battleground. It's got it all.
So that's it. Go read it. And thanks for watching. See you in there.